Welcome everyone to the home of finding sweet chocolate Easter eggs within our video games. Well, okay, perhaps not chocolate ones, but it's as good as having and finding the real thing, but just on a different level, as this is the Easter Egg Hunter. It's not often that movies translate well into video games, and yeah, there have been some utter disasters over the years, like the brilliant Back to the Future on the NES, and Superman 64.
Then there's no time to waste.
Such a classic. Both of which can be actually described as half-ish. Thankfully, the Indiana Jones titles over the years have been fairly decent and exceptional in some cases, and that certainly includes The Great Circle. It is outstanding and has quickly become one of my all-time favourite titles. So let's start our adventure at the very beginning and check out the best Easter eggs, references and details in Indiana Jones and The Great Circle. The game starts in South America 1936 and yes, lets you play out the beginning scenes of Raiders of the Lost Ark. It goes into incredible detail, like being able to see the mountain in the distance, to following the Peruvian guides, picking up the poison dart, to the reveal of Indy, and even discovering a secret cave behind a waterfall.
Alright, just a snake. Nothing more.
That was not in the movie. You can collect the golden idol for yourself and even get mowed down by that famous boulder. When Indy awakens from his nightmare in Marshall College, he'll find Marcus talking in his sleep. These words and a muttering about a labyrinth refer to these two scenes from the last Crusade.
You said it had 2 days stop, that it would blend in, disappear. Are you kidding? I made that up. You know, Marcus got lost once in his own museum. Got lost in his own museum, huh?
If you venture to the college reception, you can discover a poster advertising the grand 1937 dance with music performed by none other than Willie Scott. And speaking of temples, as in Indy's office, you can pick up a temple map for Disneyland's Indiana Jones adventure, Temple of the Forbidden Eye, which first opened in 1995. But the best references within the college come when you enter the classroom, as the developers have shown great attention to detail here, as it has been meticulously researched and makes you feel like you are actually there. With the giant skeleton poster plastered on the wall, to the hanging lights, the door, the desk, the chalkboard, the pictures, the projector and the rolled up papers below it, to the ornaments and antiquities, and to the seating, and to the apple perched on the desk, which if you pick it up, Indy will reference this scene.
This kid with his apples.
And remember the student who shuts her eyes so that it showed the words "love you" written on her eyelids to Dr. Jones? Well, if you check out her desk, not only will you find a love heart and Jones written within it, but you can also find a note from her asking Indy if she can have some private tuition.
Welcome to Giza!
When Indy and Gina travel from the Vatican to Giza, it is just before you land that you should take note of the ground, as here you can see the BV-38 plane, and the same plane that was designed to carry the Ark of the Covenant. And speaking of the Ark, as just before Indy enters the map room in the movie, you can hear workers chanting in the background. Well, if you head to the northwest of Giza, it is here where you can find many workers digging, and if you position yourself just in the right spot, you can hear that exact same chanting.
Assalamu alaikum ya fandom.
It In the town's market, you can find a trader who is selling fine leather jackets.
عندي جواكت جلد فخمة زي اللي أنا لابسه ده.
A quote that dates back to Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade's video game and can be used as a line to outwit the Nazis. It's also a quote that became a long-running joke in various other LucasArts adventure games.
Hi, I'm selling these fine leather jackets.
I'm selling these fine leather jackets.
Give it up.
Towards the end of the Himalayas sequence, Indy gets into a fight with a Nazi victor, and it's a pretty funny scene, and is very much like this part from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Plus, it even includes the Wilhelm scream. Remember the sword-wielding nut in Raiders, who Indy shoots? Well, we can do that here in the game too, as once you reach Shanghai and just after you cross the broken stone bridge at the beginning, you can find this Japanese fighter pilot.
Come on!
And have you ever wanted the chance to be a rear gunner on an airplane? Well, you can do that in Shanghai too, but just don't shoot the tail off the plane.
Wow! What happened?
They got us! Dad! Are we hit? John, I'm sorry. They got us.
And that's not the only Easter egg you can witness in the airplane, as at one point Gina will fly through a building which is on fire, and that just so happens to be Club Obi-Wan from the Temple of Doom. And even Indy mentions the crime lord Lao Che.
Lao Che will be happy!
Plus, you can even spot the giant Chinese dragon that Willie Scott and the dancers come out of. And even the giant gong makes an appearance. As we approach the end of our episode, we just have several more Easter eggs to cover. The first is when you reach Sukhothai and when you take on the quest, Lost in the Past. It is here where Indy will have an extremely weird dream, and when you explore the corridors of Marshall College over and over again, which deteriorate as you do so, and is a reference to PT. Plus, there's an interesting detail here that allows you to see Gina's dead sister's face, something you weren't able to do when you visited the Himalayas. And our final secret takes us to the very end of the game, which is set in Iraq. But I'm not here to spoil that, as I'm here to spoil the secret ending.
This room, what is it for?
As throughout the game you can collect these ancient relics, and there are a total of 50 hidden within the world, and if you manage to discover them all, you can bring them to this great wall and plug them in. It is indeed a time-consuming puzzle, but upon completing it you are treated to what appears to be a hint to where the game's DLC will take us, Antarctica, and where we'll find Noah's Ark, and perhaps discover whose footprints those are. And that is that. Please don't forget to not comment in the comments section below, don't subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.